Hello students, today we will learn the pointers concept in C programming language. Okay, so before understanding the pointer, we will understand the simple memory allocation. So let's revise that. So the computer's primary memory is arranged in this one-dimensional array kind of structure. Okay, this one box is called one cell. The cell has the size of 1 byte, right? Now this every cell has a particular address. Okay, now suppose for your program memory allocation starts from the 200 location, right? So these are the addresses of the different cells, right? The address of the first cell is 200, then 201, like this. Okay, now when you are declaring a variable integer a, right? So what happens if integer is taking 2 bytes, right? Then two cells, each of 1 byte size, right? Two cells are reserved to store the value of a. Okay, then after when you are writing a is equal to 3, so at that place the 3 will be stored, right? The locations which are reserved for storing the value of a, right? And then if you want to find out that what is the address of the a, means which locations are reserved for the variable a, so that you can get using this address of operator. Okay, so there are two ways to access the value of variable a. You can use the variable name, right? Or also you can use the variable address, so that is the 200. Okay, so this for this kind of structure, or for this kind of declaration, right? This is the variable name, this is the variable value, and this 200 is the address of the variable. Okay, now we'll see the pointer variable, right? So in the previous slide we have seen that we can access the variables value using the address also. Okay, so for storing the addresses we require the different types of variable, right? So that is pointer variable. So we will discuss one or two example, and then we will move to the formal definition of the pointer variable. Okay, so here is the example, right? Now this is the memory allocation which is shown for this example, right? So address is taken here, this 6356725. These addresses are taken after the execution of this program, remember this. So that's why I have allocated these addresses, because when I executed this program I know that these addresses are allocated to the variables of the program. Okay, but actually when we are assuming, or when we are drawing the memory representation for certain program, we have to just assume the addresses, because actually we don't know that which address is allocated to which variable. Okay, that is completely system dependent. Okay, so here we'll see this program. First integer a variable has been declared. Okay, so what happens in the memory? 2 bytes, if this machine is taking 2 bytes to store the integer value, right? Then 2 bytes will be allocated here, or reserved to store the value of a. Okay, so suppose these two addresses are allocated for the a, right? Then after there is a declaration like int star pt. Okay, so this is the pointer variable declaration, and pt is also a variable, so obviously memory will be reserved to store the value of pt also. Okay, so suppose these two addresses 6356730 and 731 are reserved to store the value of pt. Okay, now the next is what? A is equal to a. That means you are storing the value a to the variable a, right? So here the locations which are reserved for a, right, at that place the value of 8 will be stored. Okay, now understand this statement, pt is equal to address of a. Okay, that means what? The address of the variable a will become the value of pointer pt. Okay, so pointer variables are always contains the addresses of the variable. Okay, so the address of a, which is 6356728, will store in the variable pt, right? So what will be the value of the pt? it will be the address of the variable A, right? So here 6356728 will be stored. Okay, now this is the declaration of the pointer variable. Okay, now here this pt, which is a pointer variable, always take the 2 or 4 bytes, right? Because its data type is unsigned integer. Remember this. Pointer variables are storing the addresses. Addresses can never be negative or never be in the float, right? So that's why the type of this pointer variable is always unsigned integer, right? But here you can write any data type, right? So how it is possible and what does it mean? Okay, so when you are writing int star pt, it means that this pointer variable is storing the address of some integer. Okay, so remember this thing, that when you are declaring int star pt, it means that this pt is a pointer variable that will store the address of some integer variable, right? Here if you have written float, so that means pt is a pointer variable that will store the address of some float variable. Okay, so data type of the pointer variables are always unsigned integer, but when you are declaring the pointer variable and you are writing the data type, that means you are specifying that which kind of which variables or which type of variables address you are going to store in this pointer variable. Okay, so that is the one thing, right? Now we'll see the output of this program. Okay, so first printf is access value using variable name a is %d. So here at the place of %d we have to print the value of a, so obviously it is 8, right? The value of a is 8, right? Now the next way, another way to access the variable's value a is using the pointer variable. Okay, so here the pointer variable is pt and here there is one operator star. Now this star and this star is different. When you are writing this star at the time of declaration, it is for the pointer variable declaration, right? But when you are writing star here with the pointer variable without data type, right, that means you are trying to access the value of the address stored in this pt variable. So here you can see that in the pt variable the value is 6356728, right? And at that location the value is 8. Okay, so star pt means value at this address. So pt is containing 6356728 and at that location the value is 8. Okay, so star pt, right, this will access the value of a, so it will be 8, right? So the second printf access value using pointer name pt is also 8. Okay, so this star is called indirection operator or dereferencing operator. Okay, now contents of pointer pt. So pt is containing the address of variable a. So the contents of the pt variable itself is this 6356728, which is the address of the variable a. Okay, now this is the second kind of representation. We can see two variables are there, variable a and variable pt. Pt is a pointer variable, that means its value is always an address. Okay, and this is the simple variable. So the value of a is 8, but the value of this pointer variable is the address of a, and the address of a is this. Okay, and obviously pt is also stored in some address, so the address of this pt variable is this 6356730. Okay, that we have assumed here, right? So star pt, so pt is a variable in which you can store address of a integer variable. Okay, address of an integer variable. Okay, and this is indirection or the dereferencing operator that is used to access the value stored in address stored in the pointer variable. Okay, and it is also remembered as value at this address. Okay, now also we can see here from this example that when you are writing this statement, pt is equal to address of a, you can say that this pointer variable pt, right, is pointing to variable a. Okay, so whenever you are writing star pt, it will give you the value of a. This is the uh, way to remember this. Okay, pt is pointing to a, so when you are writing star pt, it will give you the value of a. Okay. Okay, now we'll see the another example here, right? Variable A. So there is variable A and its address is this. Now the addresses are changed. Okay. Then in star PT, right? So PT is a variable and its address is this 6356728, right? The addresses are different in this execution of the program. Okay, it might be different every time. Okay, now a is equal to 8, so the value of variable a is 8. Okay, and pt is equal to address of a, that means you are going to store the address of variable a, which is this 6356732, that will become the value of pointer variable. Okay, now there are different printf used, right? So we'll see the output of each printf. If you are writing, or if you want to print the value of a variable using the variable name itself, so it will give you 8. Okay, now when you are writing star pt, so from this statement you can say that pt is pointing to a. So when you are writing star pt, right, it will see this memory location which is stored in the pt variable and access the value at that location. So ultimately you are accessing the value of a using the pointer variable. Okay, so star pt will give you 8, right? Then after, if you are writing address of a, here also you can see whenever we want to print the address, we are using %u format specifier. Okay, that is for the unsigned integer. Okay, so when you want to print the address of variable a using the address of operator, okay, so it will give you the address of variable a. This is 6356732. Okay, and also if you want to access the address of a using the pointer variable, so pt is also containing the same thing, address of a. So when you are writing pt and you are printing that value using %u, right, it will also give you the address of a. Okay, and another thing is what, if you are writing address of pt. Okay, address of pt means which locations are given for storing the value of pt. So that is 6356728. pt is a pointer variable and it is also having an address. Okay, so its address is 6356728, so that will be printed here. Okay, now remember one thing, that I have written this program, I have executed this program. So when I execute this program, I know these locations which are given to these variables. Okay, and then after this memory representation has been drawn. Okay, now we'll see some of the information about the pointer variable, right? So memory addresses are simply numbers. So they can be associated to some variables that can be stored in memory. Okay, like any other variable. So for memory addresses, we can have the variables, right? And that variables addresses are always in the memory. Okay. Now, such variables that hold the memory addresses are called pointer variables. Simple variables are containing the values of the variables, and pointer variables are storing the addresses of the variables. Okay. Now, a pointer variable is nothing but a variable that contains an address, right? Which is a location of another variable in memory. Okay, so that's how you can differentiate a simple variable and pointer variable. Pointer variable contains the addresses, simple variable contains the values. Okay, now as we had discussed that pointers are always unsigned integers. Okay, so they contain the addresses of the variable, right? So when you are writing int star p, that means what? P is always unsigned integer, but in declaration this integer specifies the type of the variables of which address is stored in the p. Okay, so if you want to store the address of some float variable, you have to write this kind of declaration, float star p. Okay, if you want to store the address of the character variable, you need to write char star p, like this. Okay, now generally pointers are built on the three underlying concepts. Pointer constants. So what is pointer constant? So memory addresses within a computer that are considered as the pointer constants, and we cannot change them. We cannot change the address allocated to some variable. Okay, so that is pointer constant. Second is the pointer values. Okay, so we cannot save the value of a memory addresses directly. So we cannot write like that address of a should be something, some integer number. So this is not possible. Okay, but we can get the address of a variable using this address of operator. Okay, so that particular value that we have got through this address of operator is a pointer value. Okay, and this value may change from one run of the program to another. Okay, so if we execute the program one time, then it may matlab, variable a can be assigned the address 200, suppose, right? But when you are executing the same program again, it might possible that the address of variable a is like 400 or 500, anything. So this pointer value may change from one run of the program to another. Okay, third one is the pointer variable, right? So once we have a pointer value, it can be stored in another variable. Okay, and that variable contains a pointer value is called a pointer variable. Okay, now this address of operator can only be used with a simple variable or the array element. Okay, now if you are writing some constant value with the address of operator, so that is not legal. So pointing at constant is not legal. Okay, now if you have written this declaration of an array integer a10 and you are using the ampersand sign with the array name, right? So that is also illegal, right? You can use the address of operator with the element but not with the array name, because array name is itself contain an address of the first element of the array, right? So a is equal to means a is similar to address of a of 0. Okay, and also the expressions are not written with the address of operator, that is also illegal. Okay, so here we'll take a simple example in which we have declared the variable of three different types: integer, character, and float. Then after we have initialized, we have given certain values to these variables, and then we are printing the value of those variables using this format. Percentage d is stored at percentage u. So at the place of this percentage d, we want to print the value, right? And at the place of percentage u, we want to print the address, right? So here you can see that this 8 is stored at this address, star is stored at this address, and 4.5 is stored at this particular address. Okay, now these addresses are completely system dependent. Now in the next example, what we are doing here, we are taking an integer variable and we are taking a pointer star p, right, with the data type integer. So that means what? P is a pointer variable that stores the address of some integer variable. Okay, same way the next statement, C is a pointer variable that will contain the address of some character variable. FP is a pointer variable which stores the address of some float variable. Okay, so this is how these declarations are represented, right? Now obviously P is the pointer that can store the address of the integer variable. So here we have to write P is equal to address of A, C is equal to address of CH, and FP is equal to address of F, right? So pointers are always declared, right, with the data types of which kind of variables address we want to store in that. Okay, so here we have given the addresses to to all pointer variables, right? And here we have initialized or stored the values of the different variables, like a is equal to 8, ch is equal to star, right? This is the same as the previous example. Okay, now we'll see the output. This output we have shown in the previous slide also, right? That when you are writing variable name and when you are using address of operator with the variable name, then you are getting the address and the variable value. Okay, same way, if you are writing this variable name and you are writing the pointer variable, you will find out or you will have the same kind of output. So you can use address of a, but if you want to store the value of address of a in some variable, then pointer is required. Okay, so this is what we need to know. Now in the next, here we have declared the variable, okay, and we have declared the pointer also, right? But we have not given any statement here that will show that pt is pointing to which. We have not stored any address to pt pointer variable. Okay, so if this is the case and we are trying to print the value of pt pointer variable, then it would be anything, garbage value, because pt is not pointing to anything. Okay, now in the next example, right, here the simple variable, here is the pointer variable, and here is the assignment that pointer variable pt is containing the address of a. So when you are writing like this, you mean pt is pointing to a. Okay, now we are entering the value of the a variable using the scanf. So suppose the value of a is 40. Okay, so now when you are printing this, that value of a is this, matlab we have to print the value of a here and stored at this percentage u address, means the value of pt. Okay, so value of a 40 is stored here 6356728. Okay, now here there is one statement star pt is equal to 20. Okay, now what does it mean? You are trying to store 20, right, at the location stored in pt. So in the pt there is the 6356728, which is the address of a variable. Okay, so this 20 would get stored in that address. Okay, so 6356728's value is now 20. At that location the value will be 20 after this statement. Okay, so when you are writing this statement and you try to print the value of a in the next printf, then it would be 20. Okay, so when you are writing star pt, right, so it will change the variable's value that it points to, because ultimately the changes are reflected in the addresses which is stored in this pt. Okay, and pt is containing the address of a, right? So in this location the value 20 will be stored. So when you are trying to print the variable value a, it would be 20, right? So you can print that value using the variable name also. You can write down the star pt also, value at this address. So pt is containing 6356728 and at that location the value is now 20. Okay, so this is the memory representation. Then these are the bytes given to a variable, and when you are executing the statement, right, at that location the 20 will be stored. Okay, so ultimately the variable a's value will also be changed. Okay, now next is about the initialization of the pointer variables. Okay, now process of assigning the address of a variable to a pointer variable is called initialization. Okay, so this is the declaration int star p, and when you are giving the address of this quantity variable to p, it is considered as the initialization. Okay, you can also combine the initialization with the declaration, like int star p is equal to address of quantity. Okay, now this is not possible. You'll get the wrong kind of output here, right? Because this p is an integer, matlab it is going to store the address of integer variable, but you are trying to assign the address of float variable. So this kind of mismatched assignment will give you the wrong output. Okay, so here you can see float variables a and b, right, and integer pointer p. Okay, so when you are writing p is equal to address of a and you are trying to print the value, right, then it will be like this, wrong values. Okay, and also p is actually p actually should point to some integer variable, but it is pointing to some float. So when you are using this kind of assignment, b is equal to star p, right, and you are printing that value, then also you will get some different kind of values, garbage kind of values. Okay, so wrong values will be displayed if you are mismatching the declaration with the initialization and all. Okay, uh, these are some of the statements. Like if you are writing the pointer declaration, variable declaration in one line, then this is possible because you have declared simple variable x, then you are declaring pointer variable and giving the address of x to the p. Okay, but when you are writing int star p is equal to address of x and then after you are declaring x, so obviously this is not valid. Okay, the x should be declared first because you are going to store the address of x into p. Okay, the next is the statement int star p is equal to 5693. So that we had also discussed. You cannot give any address manually to pointer variable. It will always contain the address of variable which we can get through address of operator. Okay, now this is valid. Some constant values cannot be given to pointer, but you can give null or zero to the pointer variables. Okay, now next is pointers are flexible. We can make pointers to point to different data variables in different statements. So 3 variables are there and only one pointer, right? So at one point in the program you have assigned the address of x to p. In the next statement or after some statement you are just trying to assign the address of y into p, so that would also be fine, right? P is equal to address of z, that is also fine. Okay, so it is possible. Next is different pointers point to the same data variable. So variable is only one, but there are 3 pointers for that. So that is also possible. Okay. Now another important thing is the chain of pointers. Okay. Now we had already discussed that pointers are also variables. Okay. But pointer variables are contain addresses and simple variables are contain values. Okay, so that is how we can differentiate, right? So now if the pointer is a variable, then obviously it is also having a memory address and that address can also be stored in some pointer variable. Okay, so that is considered as chain of pointers. So we'll see that with the example. First, how it should be declared: star star p2 int star star p2, right? So that is what pointer to a pointer to an integer, right? That p2 is containing the address of pointer and that pointer is containing the address of integer. Okay, so that is the meaning of int star star p2, right? Now here variable x is taking value 10, so this is x, its value is 100, sorry, not 10, 100, and its address is this 6356732. Okay, see, I have executed this program first. Then after I know that which address is assigned to the variable x and p1 and p2. Remember this. Okay. So a variable is, there are 3 variables x, p1, p2. P1, p2 are pointers. X is a simple variable. Okay. So the value of x is 100. Right. And the address of the x is 6356732. Okay, now in the next statement, address of x is assigned to p1, right? So p1's address is 6356728, but its value is the address of x. Okay, so that's why this 6356732 is the value of p1. Okay, then after this p2 variable's address is this 6356 724, right? But its value is what? Its value is the address of P1. So this one. This is the address of P1 and that will become the value of P2. Okay, so if we see it again, then when the declaration happens, then these three variables will be declared, right? And its addresses are given. Okay, now what will be the value of these different variables? So x is equal to 100, so 100 is the value of x. P1 is equal to address of x, so x address will become the value of P1. P1's address is the value of P2, right? So the P1 variables, pointer variables address will become the value of P2. Okay, so now we'll see the different printf statements. Okay, so if we write x, then obviously we'll get the 100. Okay, now if we write star P1, right? So P1's value is this 6356732, and at that location the value is 100. So 100 will be printed. Okay, so when you write star P1, it will print the value of x. Now, if you try to print the value of x using P2, you need to write two indirection operators star star P2. Okay, so the value of P2 is 6356728, right? And at this address, there is 6356732, and at this address, the value is 100. Okay, so that is why it is considered as the chain of pointers. Okay, so when you are writing star star P2, it is also giving you the value of x 100. Okay, then after, if you write address of x, then obviously it is 6356732. Okay, when you want to print the address of x, you can also use the simple P1 variable, so it will give you the same output. Okay, when you write address of P1, this value will be, sorry, this will be the value of, address of P1 28. Okay, P2 is containing the address of P1, so it will also the same value. And when you print the address of P2, and it would be like 6356724. Means every variable, whether it is a pointer variable or it's a simple variable, it will be having an address. Okay, and that address can be stored in the pointer variable using the ampersand operator. Okay. So next is the pointer expressions, right? So here we have declared variables a, b, p1, p2, x, y, z. So these are the memory representation of those variables with the addresses. These addresses are assumed only, right? We don't know that which addresses will be assigned to which variable, right? Now this is the assignment. A is equal to 12, b is equal to 4, right? Now a and b's address are stored in P1 and P2. So obviously here it would be 200 and here it would be 202. Okay. Then after, this expression is used here. Star P1, star P2, and do the multiplication and then minus 6. Okay. Okay, so star P1 is 12, then P2 is 4. So 12 4s are 48 minus 6, that is 42. So the value of x is 42. Okay, so we can access the value of a and b using this P1 pointer using the indirection operator, and we can use it in the expression also. Okay, now for this y equation, that is 4 into star P2, that means we are accessing the value of b variable because P2 is pointing to b. Okay, so 4 into minus 4 divided by 12. P1 star P1 is equal to 12 because P1 is pointing to A and the value of A is 12. Okay, plus 10. Right now, if you solve this equation, first this multiplication will be happen 4 into 4 minus 4, that will be minus 16 plus 12, sorry, divided by 12 plus 10. So this would be minus 1 plus 10. So that is 9. So the answer of this y is 9. Okay, so that is stored in the memory location. Okay, so when you print the value of a and b, right, it is not changed, they are not changed, value of a and b. So it would be like 12 and 4 right now, and the value of x and y are 42 and 9. Okay, Then after this equations, star P2 plus 3. Okay, P2 is pointing to B, right? So 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. So now this 7 will be stored in star P2. Star P2 means what? The location at the P2, sorry, value of P2 is 202, right? So this 7 would be stored at 202 location, matlab here. So ultimately we are changing the value of B variable. Okay. Then after P1, now star P2 which is 7 now, right? Now the value of B is changed, right? And minus 5, so that is 2. But this 2 will be stored in here, star P1. So P1 is 200 and 200 locations value we need to change and it should be 2. Okay. So here star P1 equal to 2 means you are changing the value of variable A, right? And then after Z, right? Star P1 that is 2, then after star P2 that is 7 and minus 6, so that would be 14 minus 6. Okay. So now when you are printing the value of this entire program, then the value of A would be 2, B would be 7, P1 is equal to 200, P2 is equal to 202. These are the addresses of the A and B. X is 42, Y is 9 and Z is 8. Okay. Thank you.